Reactive training systems.
What differences do you see in, like, how do you train an equipped lifter differently from a classic lifter?
So I think in classic, like you have, of course you have, like in equipped you have an off season where you lift mostly classic, and in classic you probably also have like an off season, but where you still do the lifts that you are doing in competition. But the periodization is more important, I think. Like, you need this time after a competition to really recover, because you will get some, don't want to call it injury, but like small pains and things during a equipped prep, and you have to sort them out. But you will not sort them out when you're still going into shirt or into a squat suit. So you need time after a competition to really recover. I think Louis Simmons said you have to put less spinal compression. Like after, I don't know what they did, like 600 kilo squats, the spine compresses a little, and they said you need like 6 weeks of decompression of the spine. I don't know if this is the case for single ply lifts, but I think like the principle of decompressing and getting a little less weight into the system is really good. So you periodize it a little more. So you have like off season and then in season. And the training in the in season, like in the equipment prep, it revolves around the equipped sessions. So you try to be as fit as possible for those sessions. Whereas in classic lifting, you just have training like every day is a training session where whatever how high the intensity is, you try to train there for the competition lifts. But in equipment, everything has to revolve around the equipped lifts.
Yeah. So when you're talking about making sure that you're showing up to those equipped sessions being more or less fully recovered and things like that.
Yes. Right? Yeah. I mean, you have to look out that you don't get too weak raw during an equipped prep. Of course, you're gonna get weaker classic when you're doing your equipped prep, because everything hurts a little, everything is a little heavy, and you train differently. But you have to watch out that you don't just warm up classic and then go straight into equipment. Don't do any classic work, because then you lack the raw strength completely. So I tend to program like 2 or 3 sets of 2 to 3 reps, like in a 80% or more intensity, just that the people have some raw strength still, and then are going into the equipment.
Yeah, just a nice little maintenance stimulus for the classic movement.
I think maintenance of strength, especially when it's not maintenance of like peak strength, but like 95% of your peak strength, you don't have to do too much, but you still have to do a little to keep that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And then just to highlight one of the things that I see is different is anytime that we're training with equipment, there are lots more singles that we'll do. And then the singles will have a different objective. Do you tend to follow the same pattern, or you're not so much?
I mean, I don't shy away from like 2 or 3 reps in equipment. Mm-hmm. So it's not all singles, because you get something out of 2 to 3 reps, not hitting depth or not hitting the chest. You still get something out of it. Is it, I don't know, strength in the lockout or control of the bar with lesser weight? And you tend to be able to go deeper in the second or third rep. So
totally.
It's almost like because you got the confidence boost, you got the reassurance that the weight is not that heavy.
Yeah, the confidence, or the suit is like slipping up a little. So doing most of the time, doing 2 reps of the same weight of 1 rep is like the second rep might already get to depth. Whereas when you do only 1 rep, you're not getting to depth when that's the goal. So I like reps in equipment as well. Like close to competition, of course, you try to do the singles that are a weight where you can hit depth, where you can touch the chest. But further away, more reps, like you have more practice. Just like when you do 2 reps, you have twice the practice as when you do 1 rep.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. I think that there's a lot of value in doing rep work in equipment. That it's probably underrated. I program and tend to see more people do like a series of like multiple singles, which is a strategy I don't really see done in classic lifting. Like I don't see people come in and do like maybe 3 singles at an opener weight or something like that with classic. It's usually like they do 1 and then off to the volume work. Whereas in the equipment, it seems like there's a little more value to doing, if you're doing singles in a block, then like doing some multiples. And like for me, at least, I'll put like the rep work more toward the end.
I mean, those like when you doing singles, like multiple singles classic, like nothing changes.
Right.
You walk out, you do your squat, and you go in again. But in equipment, maybe the reps are a little different, or the shirt is a little different, or you actually want to try, hey, the last time you didn't hit depth, now we slip up the suit a little, now maybe you hit depth. And this is like data that the coach needs, that he knows, okay, when we're this close to depth, we just have to pull it like 1 centimeter, then the athlete hits depth normally. So that's why you probably see more sets, because you just try out things and see if it works. And as well, like walking out, lifting off, like all of those things can become a problem equipped. Like classic, normally you can walk out what you can squat, but in equipped there are points where you can't walk out even though you would be able to squat the weight. So this is practice as well.
100%. That makes a lot of sense. And I wonder if it would be, well, I think it would be different if you had a lifter who was inconsistent with their technique, a classic lifter who was inconsistent with their technique at an opener. Maybe you would program them with multiple singles because it's the same type of thing. It's a practice kind of stimulus. It's just that there's a skill that needs to be developed there, so you're creating an opportunity to practice it. And similar to the reps and equipment as well, I think that just noticing that you can get a little bit deeper on the second rep, or you can get closer to a touch on the second rep, to me, I always interpret that as like, it's possible. You know, we could have done this on the first rep. There's nothing preventing us from doing it on the first rep. It's just a learning exercise that has to happen in order for that to take place.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks to do reps and equipment. Like,
yeah,
I really understand that people don't want to do it, but it's has their point in programs.
Well, if you ask some people, they say it sucks doing reps in general anyway, whether it's in equipment or.
I mean, it's the same when you do 10 reps of squats. Nobody likes 10 reps of squats, but there is a point in doing them, so you have to do them. Like
atonement, I think, is the main point. Yeah,
it's interesting hearing about all the patience you must have in a equipped lifter to be accommodating to those variations in day-to-day reps, and the patience you have to have in developing the skill in all those different ways of handling equipment and the variations day to day you're going to have and how well you rep, how well your body puts on your suit. And I wonder if there's a correlation of lifters who do equipped just have a personality and mindset of patience and probably stay in the sport longer because they're willing to put up with all those small little variations in day to day and all those barriers you have to get good at first before you start to really excel in the sport. Well, with classic, like if you're strong, you're kind of get a nice return on effort quite fast.
Hey, let me tell you something that I know about you. Your lifting is important to you. It's probably one of your biggest priorities. And for people like us, nothing compares to the feeling that you get when you set a new PR. That feeling of being the best that you've ever been, of doing something that you've never done before. This is what we're all after, and it's also what RTS specializes in. Getting you the absolute best program possible so that you can hit new PRs and reach your goals. We call it radically individualized training, and we're really good at it. Whether we need to account for busy schedules or equipment limitations, or precisely turn the dials and get the details of the program just right, we have the tools and the experience to guide your lifting to the next level. To us, coaching is all about leadership, relationship, and creative problem solving. A coach should be poised to help you make tough decisions about training and competing so that you can continually grow in your development. And of course, a coach should be a first-rate problem solver, especially when it comes to your training, technique, and strategy. Now, all this has to be built off of a really strong, professional coaching relationship that emphasizes trust and respect. Additionally, RTS coaches are not on an island. We have a strong network of professionals to reach out to, so if you find yourself in need of some specific expertise, say in the realm of nutrition or injury management or sports psychology, there's a deep expertise available there too. For more information, go to store.reactivetrainingsystems.com and click on coaching. That's store.reactivetrainingsystems.com, then click on coaching. Hope to see you on the team soon.